Well, let's begin with that story. Mixed reactions are trailing the threat by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to carry out a military intervention in Nigeria. This comes after he designated Nigeria as country of particular concerns, arguing that Christians in the country are facing an existential threat. The U.S. president threatened to send U.S. forces to Nigeria with guns blazing, stating that if Africa's most populous country does not stem what he described as the killing of Christians by Islamist extremists, the U.S. will intervene. Meanwhile, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu says the characterization does not reflect the nation's reality, emphasizing that religious freedom and tolerance have been a core tenet of the country's collective identity. The U.S. had previously designated Nigeria on the same list in 2020, though the designation was lifted in 2023. Now, still speaking on reactions, groups monitoring violence say there is no evidence to suggest that Christians are being killed in Nigeria. While speaking on the rate of violence in Nigeria with a focus on the persecution of Christians, figures from the European Parliament reveal that 17,000 Christians were killed in targeted attacks between 2019 and 2023. More than 7,000 victims were reported. About 7,800 kidnappings are recorded in the first 7 months of 2025. Nigeria's government has, however, stated that it would welcome U.S. assistance in fighting an ongoing Islamist insurgency as long as its territorial integrity was respected. Now let's get into this as we bring in a professor of international relations and strategic studies, David Awarawo. He joins me on What Now to discuss this development as well as the implications of this statement. Good to have you join us, Prof.
Thank you for having me.
Interesting times, you know, one must say. I'm not sure that Nigeria ever thought that one day we would have this kind of threat coming from one of our strategic partners in the West. But let me start by getting your thought on this threat from President Trump and what it says about where relations between Nigeria and the U.S. now stands.
Well, should we say times? We should rather say frightening times.
Absolutely.
The times are frightening. When we consider and reflect on what happened in Iran in recent times, where the U.S. sent missiles into Iran unilaterally, and we have not had catastrophic consequences from the global community on that unilateral action against Iran by the U.S. The threat should be something frightening, but hopefully the U.S. will not do that because those who are killing people in Nigeria should be enemies of the U.S. as they are also enemies of the Nigerian government. And if we have a common enemy, we should work together to confront the enemy rather than be at each other's throats while the enemy continues to operate. So hopefully reason will prevail and the U.S. will see the need to cooperate with Nigeria to fight all the terrorists, the insurgents, and all the violent groups, rather than confronting the Nigerian government, as it has tried to do in the comments in the past couple of days.
And, you know, for a lot of people, Prof, you remember that the U.S. president also, whilst he was dealing with the South African president, also mentioned issues around genocide of whites in South Africa, and then President Ramaphosa had to go to the White House. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, look, perhaps maybe this is not just about the security challenges in the North or in Nigeria. It could be beyond this. But I'm asking you, I know that you've been following these developments, what you think is fueling this recent tension.
Yeah, there could be other things. There could be other interests. There are usually other interests for which, some leaders try to act the way President Trump has tried to act. But let us face it, Nigeria faces extensive level of insecurity that needs to be addressed. And if one is to speak specifically for, whether Christians have been attacked or not, the fact is that there are so many groups in Nigeria that are fighting, killing other groups, other people for different reasons. There are criminal mafia gangs who are killing everybody, both Christians and Muslims. And we also have extremists too who are also targeting Christians. Sometimes they attack churches, they kill people, they abduct priests, they choose Christmas Day, and other Christian holidays such as Easter to invade and all that. We also have them. We have to map out strategies to address all of these threats differently. The way we address those who are killing everybody, who are economic terrorists, is not the way we address extremists who are also targeting Christians and other groups like that. We need to understand all of this and admit all of this. But the point I'm making is that the United States government needs to work with the Nigerian government to be able.
I seem to be having network challenges there with Prof. All right, I understand, Prof, you're back. You were speaking to my question, and I just wanted to wrap up your thought on that before we move to the next one. Prof, I want to confirm that you can hear me. All right, it seems like we do not have, we still have challenges. Prof can't seem to hear me, network issues. We'll just take a break. And then when we return, hopefully we'll have better connection. Stay with us, everyone.